Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Grow Your Mind. This is an event, a conversation where we talk with educators about growing fresh fruits and vegetables in an educating environment such as schools and other environments you will also learn about as we move along. My name is Troy Richardson, and I am the CEO of RCG Richardson Consulting Group, a health and wellness LLC, where we work with veterans and anyone who's interested in getting their health on track around the country. And we are all just health advocates, but I have special co-hosts that help me with this event every month. And when I say special, these are some incredible giving human beings, and I'm just blessed to have them be a part of this Zoom conversation and a part of my life. So I'm very thankful to God for them both. But we're going to start with Lori Weeks, who is out of the beautiful state of Georgia. And welcome, Lori. How are you this evening?
Hello, everyone. Today is a great day. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I always look forward to sharing just how incorporating more plants into my everyday has changed everything. You know, it was a few years ago that I walked outside and introduced myself to a new neighbor who had moved in across the street. And she shared with me that she adds whole food concentrates to her every day. And that really makes a difference in her health. And you guys, she was just glowing. She was happy. She had energy. And I knew that I wanted some of that. I was so excited when she shared with me that came in the form of a gummy or a capsule that you could infuse your body with over 30 plants every single day. And so my husband and I started eating them every single day. And this wonderful Tower Garden Juice Plus community folded around us and helped us incorporate so many health changes. And you guys, these changes that I saw take place in myself and take place in my husband and in our children really encouraged me to learn more about what plants can really do for the body. And that is where I get to share with you today what we've done with Tower Gardening. Adding more plants cleanly grown, vine ripened, right on our back patio has given my husband and I an opportunity to really live life to its fullest potential and living and sharing in our healthiest self. So with that, I really am excited to show you what our back patio looks like. So let me screen share. One of my favorite things during the day is to look outside at my husband, and he is harvesting what is ripe and putting it in a dish and bringing it inside, and that's how we decide what we eat each day. So here's just a quick clip of what my back patio looks like. And I do say patio because I want you to know that I'm growing a lot of food in just a little bit of space. Right here, he's harvesting some lunchbox peppers and some peppers. On top of this tower, you can see it is adorned with full kale, Swiss chard, rainbow chard. We even have pansies that are edible and quite delicious. Here we have celery, which I've now incorporated into my smoothies and juicing. I didn't even like celery until I grew it myself, and it's so sweet and tender and not stringy at all. And if you're into growing flowers, the Tower Garden does beautifully with flowers. Here he is putting together a fresh lunch for us. This is my herb tower where we have marigolds and echinacea and chamomile, tarragon, sage, rosemary, thyme, lemon balm. I've gotten into steeping our own tea, and so you can just put a few clippings into hot water and just infuse your water and your tea, and it's really quite delicious. Right here is a tower that is about 2 weeks old, where we started with seedlings. And so here I'm growing spaghetti squash, spinach, basil. I think that's a sunflower. We have different types of kale, tomato plants. I just made this huge thing of pesto. And so you can see right here with these 3 towers, we have more than enough food. In fact, 1 tower is more than enough for a family to, have all of your herbs and greens come from that tower every single day. It's really neat just to have cuttings and be able to just root your own plants is what I was showing you there. And yes, I've actually grown one of those pumpkins, and that was really fun. Right here under a covering, I have the home tower. And on this tower, I've dedicated all of this side to the celery because I am putting the celery, as I mentioned, in smoothies and juicing it. I'm even drying the celery and storing it in mason jars and putting that in my herb cabinet. We have Adriana lettuce, Bib lettuce, and at the top is our microgreen section. So we harvest the leaves while they're still small, and they are just packed with dense nutrition. You guys, as you can see, I am always so excited to share that this is just the easiest way to bring a lot of homegrown food into your life. And as a former teacher, I often think about if I had had the opportunity to add this to my classroom, this would have been an amazing project to do with children, to be able to teach them where food comes from and give them healthy connections with food. You guys, thank you so much for letting me share. Back to you, Troy.
Hey, Lori, thanks. Just one quick question for those out there. How long does it take for those veggies to actually grow to the point that you're ready to eat them?
Today I have in front of me some seedlings that I ordered from a grower, and they come packaged just like this. I have a lot of them. I'm going to be putting them into the tower tonight. This is just the ultimate food prep because I will be harvesting the greens from these seedlings in about 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm going to be harvesting things like, definitely the herbs take about 3 to 4 weeks. Things like spaghetti squash or tomatoes or cucumbers, they can be like 6 weeks away from harvest.
That is incredible. Incredible. Thank you so much, Lori. We're going to come back to you a little bit. Next, we have my brother, Henry Lee, who is in the great state of Ohio, also a former educator. Henry, welcome to the event. Welcome to the conversation.
Awesome. Thank you, Troy. And as you heard from Lori, this is not an isolated thing down in Georgia or Ohio or anything. We are all over the world. I'm going to share my screen with you. So if you have heard anything today that has resonated and you think would support someone else,
Henry, just hold for 1 second because we don't want to miss a word. Hey, Troy, can you pin Henry?
Lori, you're testing.
It has me pinned.
Yeah, okay. I think Henry pinned you, but
there we go.
Okay.
We got it.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you, Henry.
Cool.
Lori, I'll get you.
So as Lori said, we have tower gardens all over the place, and this is not isolated to just where I live here in Ohio or down in Georgia. And I'm going to show you how these are used in the classroom and specifically in education. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Let's see here. Share sound, optimize. All right. Give me a little thumbs up if you can see my screen. Good. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to start out with a little video here. As we know, we're here for, and a lot of you are watching the recording here for your students. And so this is our good friend, Dr. Stephen Ritz. He is from the Bronx of New York. And this is how he incorporates it into his student learning.
My name is Stephen Ritz, and I am CEO, Chief Eternal Optimist of Bronx County. We're gonna actually grow our own lunch. We're going to grow our own food today. We're gonna go from seed to plate.
A tower garden is like this plant, but you don't need soil. And then the water comes up, and then it comes down and rain on the roots.
Adults think you can't farm in the South Bronx. Tell it to these kids. They're farming. For so many, food is the problem. Yet for all of us, food is a solution. We have some of the highest rates of juvenile diabetes and juvenile obesity in the nation. And we can change that. We absolutely have the power to change schools in this generation.
I think I still see the seed.
That happens, exactly.
You mean I can pass it around and they can see the seed in the plant?
My job is to teach kids how we can grow food. And I'm asking everyone to roll.
Oh. Okay, little technical hiccup, folks.
Sorry, I don't know what happened here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
School.
So did everybody plant a seed?
The excitement and the joy that these little kids feel putting a seed in the ground and watching it blossom. OMG, as they say, this is their moment.
I think he cares about us a lot, and he wants us to learn and have fun at the same time.
I'm not a farmer, but I'm planting seeds.
He always says, like, seeds are like people because they need love, and they grow and grow and grow to be successful people.
To use 21st century technology to generate food and to create this beautiful thing to sit by that you can actually eat is game-changing. It's empowering. They're growing. The plants are growing, and they're responsible for it. And when they know they can grow their own, they really start changing the way they see their relationship to the world and their place in it.
That's a big one. You gonna eat it? Is it good? I love it. Thank you. Okay.
Exciting.
All right. So, sit, Blue.
Blue.
All right.
Yeah.
Blue wants to join our webinar here. All right. There. Okay. So again, these are tower gardens by Juice Plus. Actually, little history. It's NASA technology. It was invented in the late 90s. Aeroponics, not hydroponics, because the roots don't sit in water. They hang in the air. So that was given over to Epcot Center in Disney World in 2009. And in 2009, they started sharing it with the rest of the world and ended up releasing it out to, I think one of the first tower farms was in O'Hare Airport, and I'll show you that later, and went out to the rest of the world in 2012. So we are coming up on 10 years out to the public. This is one of the classrooms that we have here. On the left, you can see, we call this Urban Gems. It's a partnership between The Ohio State University and Columbus Public City Schools, where we have over 50 tower gardens, where students come in after school and they have a stipend. They receive a stipend for planting, for maintaining and harvesting all 52 tower gardens. They even take it out to the public and use this mobile kitchen that you see on the top right into the community to teach them how to actually cook this produce instead of always eating refined, processed, and fast foods. Dr. Stephen Ritz is down here at the bottom. That's, imagine if your classroom, instead of looking like this, which many of you might remember, is transformed into an engaging, interactive, project-based learning where they can get real life experience. And so with that project-based learning, you can see that there is no age that is too young or too old. Daycares all the way up through high school and even college. There are lesson plans on some websites that you can certainly ask the person who invited you to watch here this evening for those lesson plans. And just an example of one of the lesson plans that we use, this is the sustainability lesson that I taught in my classroom. So this is what farms are supposed to look like. You know, rich and nutritious soil, and unfortunately desertification and urbanization have crept into not just the US but all over the planet. And so here is the solution. So solution, we have a vertical aeroponic gardening, which you can see grows much quicker than in the soil. And I'll show you a quick time lapse. Reason why it grows quicker is because there are three limiting factors when it comes to growing. The first is water, and it trickles over the roots. If you set the timer to the indoor setting, I believe it is on for 4 minutes and off for every 12, something like that. So imagine if you were to stand outside every 12 minutes and then water trickle over the roots for 4 minutes constantly. So that's why it grows so quickly. You can see this picture on the left compared to the right. This is my tower garden in the course of 12 days. And you can see the cilantro at the top, the Swiss chard, the heads of cabbage and everything. And you might be asking, what else can you grow on there besides what Lori has already shared? The sky is the limit. The only things that you can't grow on a tower garden is root vegetables, so things that are underground, or things on trees. So you can see all sorts of different microgreens, different types of lettuces, all the way down to the bottom where you see bell peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, cauliflower, broccoli. You saw those watermelon, etc. I'm going to skip this video for sake of time, and it shows how it works, but basically it pumps the water from the basin to the top, and there's a cascade system. So all the roots are being showered. It grows 3 times as fast, 30% more yield, uses 2% of the water that it would outside in soil, and 90% less space. You can keep on going up and up and up year long. This is one of my favorite highlights because as a former teacher here, 14 years, we did some gardening exercises and lessons where we spent, I think, $8,000 on these raised beds outside. And by the time we started school in August, learned about photosynthesis, sustainability, and those concepts. Then the first frost hits in October, and we had to shut down the gardens. And so we learn about the concepts, and we can't actually use the gardens outside until April. And now school gets out in May. So we're only using our $8,000 investment outside in these raised gardens for about a month and a half of the school year. Whereas these indoor aeroponic vertical systems, you can use them all year round. No soil, no weeding. You don't have to worry about worms or anything crawling around in your classroom. It's completely safe. It's food grade plastic. And beyond just the concepts that we teach in the classroom, we're affecting their gut bacteria. You are what you eat. And this is a concept that I've taught in my biology classrooms, but never really took it to heart. Because, I'm buying school lunches too, and you can probably remember what those looked like when we were kids as well, with a little bit of lettuce in that little cup, and it's really iceberg lettuce, so it doesn't have as much nutrients, and we probably threw it away and just concentrated on eating like this garlic bread and leftover spaghetti, right? And chicken nuggets. Who doesn't like chicken nuggets? But so we empower students and teachers to eat healthy while they are learning about the food that they are growing. And the Ohio State University and Cornell University has shown that kids that grow their own food are 5 times more likely to eat it than if they just buy it from a store. And I mentioned gut bacteria before because I'm a microbiologist and a teacher at heart. And so simply put, you have 2 types of bacteria in your gut. You have good bacteria and bad bacteria. The good bacteria feeds off of raw fruits and vegetables. And so if you are feeding your kids' gut with raw fruits and vegetables, then they start craving more raw fruits and vegetables. The opposite is also true. If they start eating junk food, they'll continue eating junk food. So Time Magazine, Newsweek, you name it. This is no new news that you not only are what you eat, but your DNA is affected by signals. We call this nutrigenomics, which is under the umbrella of epigenetics. That means that you are not victim to your genes, even if you have cancer in your genes, like I do. I have my mom passed away from breast cancer, my grandma colon cancer, grandpa's lung cancer and leukemia. I have cancer in my genes. However, doesn't mean that that's my destiny. It just means that I get to load my blood with signals to keep those genes suppressed and prolong those cancers, Alzheimer's, and different chronic diseases from being expressed. And so that's why I love this graphic. It literally shows that all the way down to not just your tissues, but your DNA is made of what you put in your mouth. Education doesn't stop in the classroom. We take it out to the community in Ronald McDonald House, help chronically ill students in hospitals. This is an example of some daycares that I have down in Florida. Again, urban gems, community centers. We empower even on the upper end. So this is Kemper House of Worthington here in Ohio, where we partner with assisted living, and we have the residents there growing food when they would not be able to otherwise, because they're not physically capable to do it anymore. And I love this quote that one of our partners, Caitlin, the social worker and physical education person there, our brain is our garden, and the roots are nurtured by the food that we eat. So true. Food pantries and homeless shelters, two different types of models. And get back to the person who invited you to watch this so they can explain to you the difference between those two. And again, if you missed anything there, you can see, just to reiterate, 98% less water, less space, more yield, 3 times as fast. Definitely safe and nutritious. That's what it looks like. Now the packaging, that's what it looks like after you grow it on your patio or indoors. Some science classrooms like mine, we ended up getting 3 off the bat. Just installed 3 more out west here in an elementary school. And you have a tower farm if it's more than 12. And so I just want to give you an example of what a tower farm looks like. This guy right here, let's see, right there. So this is one of my favorite places to order seedlings from. This is called True Garden. And True Garden, you can see in Arizona, feeds a good part of Phoenix. A lot of people don't know this, but you can order seedlings, and they have educational programs and all the sort. There's 2 great videos down at the bottom. If you have not had a chance to watch those, they're pretty short, and I would recommend watching those. These are the tower farms that you can find around the planet. Mostly you can see in the US, but there's also present in Dubai and Spain, out in Hawaii and down in Central America, and even places like Alaska, where plants don't normally have a very long growing system. So that's a little introduction to tower farms. Lastly, I mentioned about the classroom where you can find lesson plans. So if you go to number 6 here, these are the lesson plans that are available to you, all that are toggled to national standards from K through 12, and you can download all these and print them out. So all the resources come with it too, along with a community of tens of thousands of growers around the world. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back to you, Troy.
Unmute, Troy.
Got it, Troy? There
Can
we
you
go.
hear me now?
We got you. You're on screen.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Gotcha. Go ahead.
All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on my end. But I continue to be inspired by what you guys present and what you show us every month. It just gets better and better. And again, when you get this recording from the person who shares it with you, please, if you're an educator, our kids deserve the very best. They deserve the opportunity to learn about eating healthy and, more importantly, putting these healthy produce, vegetables in their bodies. They need this nourishment for their growing. As you said, grow your mind. And it's just very important. And I just want to talk right now to the Dallas Police Department, specifically Sergeant Munoz, Sergeant Guardiola, and Sergeant Tillin. We had a great conversation today, and you guys are doing tremendous outreach with the young folks down there. And I know you had an interest in this. And when you get this recording, I want you to pay attention to those kids and the excitement in their faces that this is bringing to them. And this is what happens all around the world when kids come in contact with this Tower Garden. It's just impactful in so many ways and so rewarding for everyone. So when you get this recording, everyone out there, please get in touch with the person who shared it with you and join this journey. Any questions, we will make sure you get the answers you need. And we just need you to be part of this movement, that we get these Tower Gardens in as many educating environments as possible. So again, Lori, Henry, thank you so much. I know we have a guest on here, Felicia. Thank you so much for showing up and supporting. And hopefully you'll be a part of this journey real soon. And everyone out there viewing us on Facebook, send us a message on Facebook. Let us know if we can be of any assistance to you. But we're here for everyone out there. We want everyone to have a healthy, long life and just continue to grow. So thank you so much, everyone.